So another good one for hip mobility is what we call the half kneeling position. I'll refer to this a lot with different things that we do. So half kneeling position, hold on to something if you need to, a golf club, a pole, small child, whatever you want to do, to maintain your balance. And you're just gonna, kind of like we've done on the stairs, you're just gonna push back and forth and working through the hip. You're working the knee, you're working the ankle, but right now the focus is the hip. We're gonna push back and forth, leaning over. We're stretching the muscles, but we're working the hip joint. So my right foot is forward. So if you think about my right hip joint, whenever I push forward, I've got motion here. And when I come back, I'm increasing the position of my hip, and I'm using my pelvis to help accentuate that. I'm also doing the same thing with my left hip, which is down the bottom. As I come forward, I'm pushing that back. So extension of my down leg, flexion of the top leg, and then whenever I come forward, I'm actually increasing the flexion in the top and backing off the extension in the bottom. You can go sideways, you can rotate, so you're rotating your pelvis. Anytime we've got a fixed, like my knee is fixed, I've got less motion here than I do in my front leg. I've got my knee and my ankle that can move to offload some of the motion in the hip. Here, my knee is down, so my knee and my ankle can't really help, so any motion that I do is going to come through this hip. So thinking about the hip, my down hip, my left hip in this case, is going to be more in a position to mobilize than the top leg. I've got more ability to move the knee and the ankle to offload some of the pressure on the hip. So you think about that bottom hip that we're mobilizing as opposed to the top one. Sort of forward and back here, flexion and extension, coming forward as extension, coming back like that with the hip is flexion of the hip. We'll go sideways, so we're pushing that ball in and out of the socket sideways like that, and then rotating, we're turning it in there. Like I said, use something for balance if you need to. So just working different directions. And again, we'll get into combination movements where we're working the hip, the ankle, the knee, the back, shoulders all at one time. I just wanted to break something down and just show you different ones that focus on an individual joint. So we're mobilizing the joint, plus we're stretching. So we're stretching, good hip flexor stretch here. A lot of people that have tight hip flexors work on stretching. This is the position I put a lot of my patients and clients in to stretch. And as you stretch, more isn't better. So if I feel the stretch here, trying to really force it and get more isn't going to do you a whole lot of good. You run the risk of injury. Your body's going to respond better unless you're an elite level athlete. Most of us average Joes and Janes are going to respond better just to feel that stretch, relax, work back into the stretch, back and forth, instead of trying to really be aggressive and hold it, because your body's going to react to that and have a reflexive contraction. It's going to tighten up and fight against you, so that's not really beneficial. So give that one a try, half kneeling, back and forth, side to side, and rotating both directions on both legs. And let me know what you think. You got any questions? You know the drill. Let me know. You want to see something different? Comment below. Thanks, y'all.